Welcome to Budapest, the city that has it all, from incredible fairy tale-like architecture, delicious cheap food, complex history, and let's not forget the world's famous thermal baths. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Jenny's Travels Unraveled. My name is Jennifer Carter, Jenny, Jen, whatever you want, I'm your girl, and welcome to my channel. So, as you know from the title down below, today's video is about the ultimate guide on Budapest. So everything you need to know about Budapest, I got you. We're going to be talking about what to do, what to see, where to eat, fun facts, tips and tricks, everything. I got you covered. So this book here that I've written all my notes is where we're going to get all that information from all the notes I've written, as you can see. No, I'm kidding. I've actually did write notes. There they all at. There they all at. So much information. I did do a bit of research because obviously I don't know everything. I mean, I know pretty much everything. No, I'm kidding. I don't know everything, so I had to do my research on places and things and stuff, and you know, all of that hoo-ha-ha stuff. Anyways, let's get into the video so we don't mess around. Let's go now. Okay. Starting with number one. Number one is everything you need to know before you go to Budapest. So let's start with currency. And you ask me why currency? Because currency in Hungary is very different to the rest of Europe. The currency in Hungary is the Hungarian forints and the rest of Europe is euros, as you would know. Anyways, if you do come to Hungary with just euros, you'll be fine because it's very touristy. A lot of restaurants accept it, a lot of tourist places just accept the euros, so you'll be fine. I don't know about the rest of Hungary because it's not so touristy, they might not, but you're gonna just have to check. But if you go to Budapest, you'll be all sweet, and then you can just change money when you're there. Let's go to the next thing. The next thing is language. So the language in Hungary is Hungarian. That is the official language there. But don't stress because they speak English in Budapest. Because it's very touristy, a lot of people speak English. All your restaurants, clubs, wherever you go, they'll speak English. And I think if you're going to go to Budapest, also learn some language because I think it's polite and nice to just learn the local language. Let's go to the next thing, which is the background of Budapest. So Budapest is the capital city of Hungary, and it was created in 1873. Let me just double check because I'm really bad with numbers. 1873, by the merge of three cities, so Buda, Pest and Obuda. So the Danube River used to separate Buda and Pest. So Buda is the hillside and Pest is the flat side where you'll find all the restaurants, all the nightclubs, all the things to go and do with your friends. But there is another city that not many people know, I didn't know about. It's called Obuda, and it makes the whole of Budapest. It's the northwest of Budapest. Fun fact if you didn't know, well now you know. Another thing you should know about Budapest is that it has a really complex history, and some of it is very sad and horrific. For example, World War II, where 600,000 Jews died, and there was a lot of buildings and architecture just completely destroyed by the Nazis, and there's a lot of memorials throughout the city to represent this. One of them is the 60 pair of shoes, which are right next to the Danube River. The story behind this is that the Nazis used to make the Jews take off their shoes, and then they would shoot them and their body would float away in the cold river, which is a very sad story, but it is good to go and just pay your respects and take it all in because yeah, it was pretty emotional when I went, but yes, something you should definitely do. Okay, let's continue to the rest of the video. Something you need to know is paprika is used pretty much in every single dish in Hungary. It's paprika everywhere. Even if they don't want to, they put paprika, not kidding. But it is very popular there, so be expected to eat a lot of paprika when you go there. Another thing you should know is not to clink your beer in Hungary. It's considered rude. I'm not sure if it's still considered rude because it was something of the past, but people still don't do it, and out of respect, I think just don't do it. The history behind this is that the Hungarian Revolution was stopped by the Austrians, and the Austrians used to clink their beers to celebrate this, so it's just, yeah, in Hungary they just don't do it. Number two is how to get around. So the three ways of getting around: plane, bus or rent a car. You can do any of these options, but we'll start with the plane first. So the plane. So you arrive to the international airport of Hungary, and you'll be arriving from Europe or somewhere, I don't know. But just letting you know, around Europe, the prices always change. One day it could be 10 euros, one day it could be 300 euros. You just never know. It's always best to just book it in advance, or always just check on Skyscanner, because Skyscanner gives you the cheapest flights. They compare different flights and it gives you the cheapest flights. Or go to Go Euro, or go to Rome to Rio, and it shows you different ways to get into Budapest and the cheapest way to get in there. Once you arrive to the international airport, you will catch a bus into the city. This bus is called 100E, and it takes around 30 minutes to get into the city. Price is 900 Hungarian forints, so around 3 euros. So it's pretty cheap to get in, or you can catch a taxi, which will cost around 7,000 Hungarian forints, which is a bit more expensive, but that's just another option for y'all. Anyways, let's continue. So the next way to get into Budapest is a bus. So you can catch a Flixbus, which is probably the most popular company in Europe, and it's pretty cheap. But the only bad thing is it does take a while to get to your destinations. Instead of a plane, only takes you like 1 hour. Next thing is renting a car. So you can rent a car, but I wouldn't recommend doing this just because it's really expensive and it just takes a long time driving. I don't know, I don't recommend it. I mean, if you're doing with a big group, maybe go like that and just do a road trip, but if not, I'd recommend a plane or a bus. Once you've arrived to Budapest, first things you need to do is get data, because you need to get those cute Instagram pics. You need to text your family, you need to text your friends, you need to like say hello to everybody, make sure everybody knows you're in Budapest, living your best life, you know how it is. So what you need is a data plan, and I got you. So the best mobile company to go to, that's the most popular one, is called Telekom. It has the most coverage in Hungary. The second one is Telenor, which is pretty much the same, just as popular, and then Vodafone, which is the third biggest company in Hungary, but it has less coverage. They're all roughly the same price. Some might have better deals than others. You just have to check it once you're there. So once you get to Budapest, you've got your data plan, get the cute photos. You need to know how to get around Budapest. So there's a few ways to get around. One way is catching the train or tram. Fun fact, Budapest has the second oldest subway line in the world, and for a 42-hour pass, it's 1,650 Hungarian forints. So I would recommend walking around the city, just exploring. If you've got time, take your time, enjoy the views, you know, just really embrace Budapest. That's what I would recommend if you do have time. If you don't have time, I do recommend either renting a booby bicycle. I know it sounds weird, the name booby, but that's what it's called. Unless I'm pronouncing it wrong, then I don't know, but you can rent one of those bikes. And they're pretty cheap for the day. For 30 minutes it's free. For an hour it's 500 Hungarian forints, so pretty good. You can ride yourself along. If you do have a short time in Budapest, I do recommend what I did. I caught the hop on hop off bus, so it takes you to different historical sites and lets you see everything in one day. I think it's the best way. You are rushed a lot, so you're literally hopping on a bus, listening to the audio to get some history, know what the whole city's about, and then hopping off. Yeah, that's how you get around Budapest. Now let's go to the next thing. Number 3 is things to do and see in Budapest. So I will split this up 2 ways. So everything you need to do in Buda and everything you need to do in Pest. So that's how it's going to work today. So let's just get started with the Buda side. Everything you need to do and see in Buda. So first things first, to get up the hill you need to catch either funicular, which you get really nice views from, walk up there, or you can get a mini bus that takes you up there and it takes you to different spots. That's what I did. Once you've gotten up there, first thing you need to see is the Buda Castle. The Buda Castle is where the kings used to live. It was completed in 1265 and it was first made to protect itself from the Mongols, but now it's where there's art museums and art galleries and just beautiful, beautiful views from up there actually. Anyways, next is the Fisherman's Bastion. The Fisherman's Bastion was created in the 19th century. It's got a neo-Gothic look to it and it's very beautiful. It's all white and pretty. You feel like you're in a fairy tale and you have the best views there. Like literally that's where you get the Instagram shots. So next thing you should do is to go and see the tavern. This is where the residential streets are and parks, and it's a good place to relax, have a drink, eat some food. It's just very beautiful up there. One thing you have to do when you're in Budapest in general is the baths. Of course, you can't go to Budapest and not do the baths, even though I didn't do it because I suck. I don't know why I didn't do it. Don't ask me. I have so many regrets and I'm definitely going back. Anyways, there's a lot of baths in the Buda side. They're actually more luxurious than the Pest side, just because, you know, the kings lived up there, but the Pest side is more popular than the Buda side baths. So yes, there's a few baths. I'll list here or here. One of them or both. So the last thing you should do when you're in the Buda side is to go and see the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty is to commemorate the Hungarian liberation from the Nazis. A lot of people see it as a symbol of Hungary. It is so beautiful up there, especially at night. You get such a nice view of all the lights and especially the Parliament building. Oof, that looks good from up there. So we've done just the Buda side of things. Let's go into the Pest side of things. So in the Pest side of things is where you'll find all the bars, restaurants, you know, places to go, hang out with your friends, get your food on. So first thing is first, apart from the restaurants and bars, is to go and see the Parliament building. It's actually the most famous building in Budapest and Hungary, I'm pretty sure. It's right next to the Danube River and it's actually the third largest Parliament building in the world. Fun fact. Another fun fact right at you. Let's continue. The next thing to see is the St. Stephen Basilica. It's named after the King of Hungary, and you get amazing views from the top of the basilica and you get to enjoy the artwork inside the basilica and the architecture. Definitely a place to go. Another thing to see, as I mentioned before, in the Buda side is the baths. It's actually got the most famous bath in Budapest where you can enjoy the art and play some chess in the water. Pretty cool, no? Pretty cool. I wish I didn't. I still have regrets. Let's continue on because I don't want to think about it no more. Next thing to do is go to the ruin bars. This is where all the trendy restaurants and clubs are at. The history behind this, it used to be the ghetto Jewish quarter in Budapest, and then when World War II came, it completely got abandoned, and then locals started making restaurants, clubs, and now it's a place where everyone goes to party. Another thing you should do when you go to Budapest is go to the Hero Square because it's absolutely gorgeous. There's a castle right next to it, there's a park right next to it, and there's an ice skating rink that is so beautiful. It's huge. It's actually the biggest one in the world and oldest one, and it's right next to a castle. You literally feel like you're in Frozen because you're literally ice skating next to a castle. Like, what more could you ask? Anyways, yes, Hero Square is so nice. They actually made Hero Square to commemorate the 1,000 years of the Hungarian history. I am in the Hero Square in... Excuse me. The castle that I was talking about is the one that here, I can't pronounce it, but it's a beautiful castle. It's very romantic and just you feel like you're in love when you go. The thing that I definitely you have to do is to go on a cruise on the Danube River. It's just so spectacular. You just see buildings everywhere, these huge buildings, and they're just so beautiful, especially at sunset or nighttime. Whew, I think that was my highlight of Budapest, was just sitting on that boat and just looking at everything and being like, wow, this city is crazy. The last thing is to just walk around and just get lost and explore and enjoy your time and live your best life. That's all I have. Those are my things to do in Buda and things to do and see and Pest. This is to eat. So I'm going to be completely honest. I only went to one restaurant when I was in Budapest because I didn't get a lot of time there. I really wish I saw more restaurants and bars and just stuff like that, but I really didn't get time because I was looking into the historical sites of Budapest. I do recommend this restaurant for 100%. It's really good, so cheap, you get so much food, and it's just a really nice environment. It's called the For Sale Pub, and they just make amazing goulash, amazing bread, amazing food, amazing everything. And it's just this restaurant where there's papers everywhere throughout the walls, like people, tourists, locals, they put papers of different things all over the walls. There's people playing guitars, singing, there's a fireplace. It's just a really nice environment, so definitely go there if you go to Budapest because it is I'm getting hungry thinking about it, so I'm going to stop talking about it because I'm hungry. And yes, that is the conclusion of the video. I hope you really enjoyed it. I try to put everything I could possibly put into this video and try to make it as short as I possibly could. Hopefully this will help you out. When you go to Budapest and when you get there, you're like, you know, because Jenny's Travels and Rêveur told you. Anyways, thank you so much. If you liked the video, please subscribe down below and like the video. And let me know any fun facts that you guys have if you've ever been to Budapest. And yes, I'll see you next time with more videos. Ciao!